program to connect parents with other parents who have children who are blind or partially sighted within various school divisions in southern Saskatchewan. So whether it's rural school divisions or whether it's our city public schools, Catholic schools, French schools, it doesn't really matter which school it's from, but it's learning how to effectively advocate for your child and when to allow your child to advocate for themselves, as well as maintaining and developing those relationships with the school board, the teachers, the administration in your school, to be able to foster those relationships so that you're able to better access services, as well as just helping parents to help each other navigate the school system. It isn't always easy to navigate the school system with a child with a disability. So having a network of people who can support you and help you and give you ideas to navigate it effectively is super important.
Okay, so before we go on and talk about the recreation programs and the other programs, where are all of these support programs available and how can people access them?
So all of our support programs are available here in Regina at the CNIB. So there's two options. You can either attend the programs right here in the CNIB office, or there's teleconference options for our rural clients. So if you're not able to make it into Regina, all of these programs can be accessed via teleconference or Skype. So if you contact the CNIB, we are able to kind of hook you up with either option, whatever works for you.
And besides Regina, where else are these programs available in Saskatchewan?
We also have an office in Saskatoon, and the same programs will be offered there with the same options. So in Saskatoon, if you're not able to make the group right in the CNIB in Saskatoon, again, you can use teleconference or Skype options as well. So if you contact the Saskatoon office, you'll be able to put in contact with the program lead up in Saskatoon.
Excellent. So tell me about the new recreation programs. What kinds of activities will be happening, and what kinds of things can people look forward to participating in and doing?
So we're excited about the recreation programs because we're going to try all sorts of new things, from yoga to a self-defense class. We're hoping to do a spin class, maybe an exercise class, but we're also hoping to do things like maybe a paint night, maybe a pottery class, or learning to play an instrument. Or maybe we're just getting together and we're trying out a new restaurant. All of those aspects of life that we take for granted and that we just want to have fun and experience different things and find what are our interests. Maybe I really love spin class. Maybe I really hate spin class, but it's a great opportunity for our clients to find those things that they really love and that they're passionate about and that they can pursue further.
So talk to me about accessibility and why that's important in these sorts of programs. Like, tell me why you can't just go to, say, the Sportsplex and participate in an exercise class there.
Yeah, so in order for, say, myself to go and participate in a, let's say a Zumba class at the Sportsplex, it would be frustrating to navigate a Sportsplex that you don't know, first of all. But then I would also have to get a hold of the instructor ahead of time and find out, are they describing the things that they're doing enough that I'm able to participate? Is the class fully accessible? Is, in a huge open space that I need to move around and I'm not going to be able to? Do I need a guide or don't I need a guide? There's so many aspects to it that can bring up anxiety for people. Some people are great and they just want to go and jump in and do a sighted normal class and are fine with it. And then we also have clients who are not comfortable at doing that and have a little reservation about that. So it's great for people to have the option to try these classes out. And on the other hand, it's also educating people who are providing these classes on how they can make them accessible and how easy it is to make them accessible.
Excellent. So tell me about the Family Fun Days. What are these?
Our Family Fun Days are a time for our families to get together and to mingle and network and just have a whole bunch of, accessible fun for the kiddos. So Our last Family Fun Day was an amazing event at the Science Center where the families got to come and have a pancake breakfast and try out all of the exhibits at the Science Center and participate in some shows. And our next one is going to be a Halloween themed party, so we'll have lots of sensory type activities, and it's just a great place for families to get together and to be with families who are experiencing the same challenges that they are, so they can meet other families, and hopefully, you know, the kids can meet as well and develop friendships and network amongst each other.
Why is having a sensory experience important for a child who is blind or partially sighted? Explain what that means to me.
So a sensory kind of experience is important because so much of the world around us is visual, but allowing the children to explore the world with other senses is how they're going to learn about the world around them. So whether it's through touch or smell or taste or sound, it's exposing them to all of those things that we see in the world around us every day, but in a different way.
So maybe could you give me an example of maybe in that way, how, just so maybe parents of a child who's blind or partially sighted would really, understand why these sorts of experiences are important. For you, do you have something on the top of your head that you could explain to me where you've had a sensory experience that's really helped you to understand something?
Yeah, so like when I was a kid, I remember my parents and I were talking about trees, and in my childhood, I could only just tell that the tree was green on top. I didn't realize that the leaves were a different shape. I thought it was just kind of like a green blob on top. So I remember my mom called my teacher, and they had gotten a whole bunch of different leaves from different trees, and I was able to touch the leaves and to see the different shapes and the different kind of variations and the different smell even between all of the different leaves or the different flowers. And it was great. It was a way for me to understand what others were seeing that I was not seeing, but it kind of brought things into perspective. So I think it's important that way for kids to kind of, get those experiences and to figure those things out that they couldn't see. But it's also fun for kids, who they can't necessarily see the things around, but every kid loves to play with slime or stick their hands in some wet noodles or, all of those fun things.
Okay. Okay, so there's one more program that we need to talk about, and that's Kids Camp. Tell me about the Kids Camp program.
Our kids camps are great. They've been running for numerous years now, and they're day camps. We have two. We have one for our little guys, so 5 to 12 years old, which is a 2-day day camp. And then we have a 2-day day camp for our older kids, which is 12 to 18. And we do different activities every year, from horseback riding to learning to play the drums and making crafts and playing lots of games and, renting bouncy houses and doing obstacle courses and scavenger hunts, and just that camp experience that many of our kids don't get to have at a regular camp. So we try to give it to them, in an accessible way so that they're not left out and they're able to participate in the camp fully. And we also focus on, learning some of those skills like cooking and proper social behavior and personal space and all of those kinds of things that kids who are blind or partially sighted need to be taught because they're not able to see those nuances. So it's a great program for that. And it also kind of ties into our youth leadership program, because with all of our camps we have counselors in training, which are our youth like 15 to 21 who are able to come and learn how to gain some leadership skills and to help out with the camps and that kind of thing.
Excellent. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to say about the foundation programming?
I'm excited about the foundation programming. I think it's amazing, and I think it's so great to finally be able to offer these programs to our clients and to help them really live full, successful, independent lives, but to have fun while they're doing it. I think that we focus so much on independence and, being independent, but there's also that fun aspect to life, and I think that this will allow some of that fun to happen.